Alright, so this is my review of Sanada Yukimura from KeepGoing Studio. And this is a new third-party release, and I got her on 5K Toys for about 60 bucks. So she should fit in with your 112 scale figures for the most part. She is a bit on the taller side, but yeah, definitely an interesting new release. So we'll just quickly go over her. And let's start with measurements first. So she should fit in with the 112 scale figures you might have, but she is a little bit on the taller side. So just get a quick measurement on her. So right to the top of her head, around 6.5 inches. So you could kind of fudge it, but again, she is a little bit bigger than normal. Okay, and let's see how much she weighs. Alright. So around 1.7 ounces, which is normal for most female type figures of this size. So she doesn't feel like a model kit. She doesn't feel like she's made out of like cheap plastic or anything like that, which is good. She definitely has like a premium feel to her. Doesn't feel like she's cheap or flimsy at all. Okay, so let's get a closer look at her and just get the camera to focus. Yeah, so I think she's definitely got that anime aesthetic. Looks great. Very sharp details. Nice crisp lines. Color separation is great. No real blotchiness to be seen. Like the paint lines are very crisp, I think. Not perfect, but still very nice, I think. And what really kind of attracted me to this figure was the color. Like the red. This is probably my favorite shade of red. Really just kind of like sticks out, so definitely interesting. She does have nice shading. Definitely gives it kind of like a premium feel. The gold is very nice gold. It's not like a cheap marbly, like faded color. It's nice and vibrant. That's nice too. And yeah, no real complaints. I think she looks very solid for sure. I'm not really sure if this is like from an anime or what, but from what I understand, I think this figure is just based on an actual samurai, like a historical figure. But for whatever reason, they turned him into a what if, like if he was a female. Not sure why, but who really cares? I still think it's a really cool figure. Yeah, so let's go over her articulation. So her head is on a ball joint, and very, very nice head articulation. Like, you could get like very nice tilt out of it. She could look down about that much. Without the ponytail, she could look up a little bit better than normal, than what you're seeing here, but she does get a nice full set of head movement. Upper diaphragm is on a ball joint also. Get decent movement forward. It's good enough, I guess. Backwards, a little bit better. About that much. Arms, very nice, simple swivel. Wish Figure Arts would just do this. And they do on some of their figures, but then they do insane, kind of nonsensical stuff on their One Piece line, which you gotta wonder why. But yeah, just do a nice swivel like this, and everything's okay. But they don't. They just have to make everything more complicated. Yeah, so she is going to get limited by this vest in terms of how much she could go up. She does have a butterfly joint. It's somewhat functional. Like, it could help her pinch in if you need to get her to hold like a sword or whatever like that. So that's not bad. Definitely appreciated. And yeah, you can see the little butterfly joint in there. Okay. I do suggest warming this one up. She was a bit stiff. Nothing crazy though. Unfortunately, no joint in the lower diaphragm or lower torso. That's just a stiff sculpt there, which is unfortunate. Her legs do have an interesting kind of setup. If you are going to pose her legs, I suggest you kind of just lift these flaps up and then move them however you need to. And be careful. These swivels don't seem like the strongest on her armor, so just be mindful of that. Like, don't go crazy with it. Like, you know, be mindful of how you're posing her. Yeah. So these are on ball joints too. And she does have a thigh swivel. Nicely blended in. Knees, nice double bend on the knees. I think her legs are proportioned nicely too, so that's good. And what I really appreciated on this figure was the attention to ankle articulation. So they didn't just stick a high heel on like a peg and just call it a day. Like they added a nice swivel here. You see that? So that's what you need to do, especially with high-heeled characters, because if you don't, they're just going to be a nightmare to stand. And they did a very nice job. And I think they did a better job than a lot of figures I have, like the snail shells, which are in themselves great, but I think they definitely did it better than snail shell when it comes to like the high heels, because she has no problem standing up. Now, just, you know, keep in mind she's on a kind of soft surface here, and even then it's not a chore at all to get her to stand, just because she has a very nice organic ankle swivel there. And that's probably, like, without exaggeration, the most important part of a figure's articulation, just in terms of like overall stability and whether or not you need to rely on like a stand or whatever. So definitely appreciated, because without that, these figures could become a real nuisance and fast. Let's go over her accessories, and I'll just keep her standing here. All right. So she does come with this stand here. Very nice. And I just went ahead and attached the flag. You know, you could figure it out. She does come with a very cool looking flag here, so that's nice. Now, inside this base, she does come with alternate hands. And let me just open this up to show. So the base does open up like this. Be careful opening it up. Make sure you just, you know, kind of finagle with it. Don't just shear it off. Yeah, so there you go. She comes with a bunch of alternate hands. Yeah, so she comes with, and let me just turn it this way so you can see. So she does come with gripping hands. Now, she does come with a bunch of different weapons, so, you know, probably she does have guns, which I'll show in a second. So these are her trigger hands, weapon holding hands, you know, bunny fingers, and just kind of generic open hands. So nice set of hands there, and I always like when they give these little hand holders. That's always nice to have. All right, let's set that aside, and let me just go through the other accessories that she comes with. So she does come with 2 spears, and I went ahead and assembled them already, but yeah, you do get a long one, and these are actually metal shafts too, which is really cool. The head itself isn't, but the shaft is, yeah, this is solid metal, so that's really cool. Has a nice heft to it. You do get a mid-length pole, so you could just get a shorter spear going if you need to. That's really cool. Now, what I really like is they gave swords with her, obviously, you know, that's kind of obvious, but you don't see this anymore, is they gave an actual functional sheath. Figuarts and Figma don't really do this anymore, which is them just cost-cutting. So while these big companies are just kind of cost-cutting and bullshitting us, these third parties are paying attention to details and giving us nice little add-ons like this. So that's very appreciated. That's definitely cool. You know, Figuarts and stuff, they do that bullshit with, like they use a solid filled-in plastic sheath, and you have alternate handles that you swap out. It's just so stupid. It's nonsensical, but, you know, anything to save a buck at our expense. It does come with a nice sword stand, and just, you know, again, just so much. I've never actually, I don't know how you're supposed to put a katana on these stands, but yeah, you could definitely use that here. That's very cool. Get the stupid camera to focus. Yeah, so that's nice. Nice little touch. And you can put multiple weapons on this thing, so that's nice. Alright. And still not done with the accessories. She comes with a ton. So she comes with these cool kind of fans. I think that's really nice. Very nicely detailed also. These are very cool. She comes with two of these actually, so I'm just going to show one up close. Kind of like a gun. So she does come with like this kind of, I think it's called like a blunderbuss or something. I'm not sure. Or a flintlock. Yeah, so really nice kind of like texturing on it too. Like you could see like, it looks almost like real wood kind of, and that gold is incredible. I like how the barrel is separated from the wood also. So very cool, I think. And you do get a backup pole here, so if you lose that one, you do get this as a spare. You do get like the stand add-ons. This piece here, if you want to like adjust her eyeballs, make them look in whatever direction, you could definitely do that with this. You just take her faceplate off and do whatever. And they gave two of those too, so that's nice in case you lose one of them. She does come with a additional ponytail piece, and that's if you want to go with like a more windswept look on her ponytail instead of the one I have on her right now. That just pegs in just a ball joint. And finally, oh wait, well, there's another one. And again, while Tamashi's too cheap to give us functional sheaths on the swords and stuff as accessories, they even gave a little tanto, which has its own sheath, so that's sick. Very cool. And I think these could... No, okay, yeah, so very cool. And let's just go over her faces. This one is probably my favorite face that they gave with her. Like, I've never seen a more expressive, angry face on a recent figure that I've had. This is probably my favorite that they gave, so that's really nice looking, I think. Very expressive. And she comes with two others. Comes with that. Again, very expressive. Comes with a cool scar also. Very, very cool. So, and finally, you get this. So, do with that what you will. You do get that as an option. There you go. Alright, so that's about it for accessories. Very generous set of accessories for sure. And keep in mind, this figure is only $60, so you could really have fun doing whatever with this one. So, yeah, not really a whole lot else to say with this. So if you're interested in her, she is out of stock on 5K Toys. If you are still interested, I'd check other sites like Gundamn It. I will leave links if I could find any of her in stock. But yeah, she's probably going to be on those kind of Chinese sites. I would guess she's probably going to be on AliExpress too. So have a look there. I don't think she should be too hard to find, but keep in mind, you know, these kind of third-party figures, they're not going to be produced as readily as like Figuarts or, you know, Figma or whatever. So don't wait too long. Yeah, so it's Sanada Yukimura. Really cool figure. Glad I got this one. And definitely cool little release for sure. So yeah, that's about it for my review. If you have any questions, definitely let me know in the comments. And yeah, thanks for watching. Take care.